my friend, I was getting a haircut yesterday at my friend Maya's house. Can't tell, I still got hair, but I told her not to give me a full Richard Spencer. I said just a little bit.
You didn't want to go full Spence?
Nope.
Full Spence?
Yeah,
full Fash?
I think the funniest thing is that Richard Spencer owns Spencer's Gifts.
That's pretty crazy. You think he likes weed and black lights that much?
He hates it so much. He's trying to get rid of all of his.
Yeah, and all his dildos.
Yeah. You know, they say Dill does what Nintendo don't.
That's right. Sega Genesis.
That's why I got a Power Glove to jerk off in.
Yeah, which would be a great segue into today's episode.
Well, then cue the theme song. Oh wait, I'm not at Zach's. Boom, 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 boom. How's our theme go? Honeys, we're home.
Hello and welcome to Sinclairity A Dinosaurs Tale. I am your host. We're going to need another Timmy along with my co-host.
Hey, I'm Ben Hand Up Me. I hope if anybody needs like a heart surgeon after what just happened, because Timmy scared the shit out of me too.
Yeah, and I scared you because guess what, Ben? It's October. And
shit.
It's spooky season.
We're on that spooky creep. We're getting there.
Yes.
We're gonna be doing the monster mash, the horizontal monster mash here soon.
That's right, and make the Wolfman beg.
Did you I don't know if I've canonically on podcast mentioned this, but I was conceived on Halloween. Like you can do the math. I'll do the Alfredo. I was born July 27th. And then 9 months before that, roughly, it was Halloween, a party that my parents, I guess, went to. Well, I remember going with my dad and leaving with my mom. But when I was a cum, you know what I mean? But speaking of cum, we're when
I was a lone cum.
My father took me to the city to meet my mother. Yeah. Speaking of My Chemical Romance, we are a podcast that talks about the show Dinosaurs.
Yep, that's right. And if you made it this far into it after that conversation, congratulations. You're here today to join us for episode 56 of the podcast.
Yeah, and that means that you will receive a complimentary gift bag for getting this far. And we'll just send us your address and social security number, and we'll get that to you right away.
Yeah, and you make sure tell us how you feel about season 3, episode 18, Dirty Dancin.
Yeah, this is going to be a good episode because it's kind of about a subject that affects like half of the population at some point.
At least
half. Like especially if your name is Ted Danson. At least once a day, he feels kind of like Dirty Dancin. He's got to get his go get in the shower.
Yeah, and you should, because he probably smells pretty bad.
I mean, he has to take, isn't he like in a TV show now or something? He's probably taking care of himself.
He's the boss. He's got to be clean.
He's the boss. I don't think we're talking about the same guy, man.
Are you talking about Ted Danson? Or Tony? Yeah. You said Tony Danson.
No, I said Ted Danson. I got the Wikipedia page in front of me. I didn't mess it up this time, I swear.
Tony Danson?
No, Tony Danzig. Glen Danzig. Oh, Dirty Dancin.
Well, it is October, so
mother, tell your children not to dance like that.
Yeah, he's just hanging around, waiting to be relevant this month. Raking in. He's just raking in all that Misfits money when this is the only time of the year people listen to that band.
He gets paid in those little orange and black wrapped caramels with no logos or writing on them that suck. That's what he gets paid in. So it's hard out there for a Glenn.
Yeah, or Tootsie Rolls. I hate those.
Oh, fuck it. I do too. I've never liked Tootsie Rolls. Who are those for? Who likes Tootsie Rolls? Then why do they give them to kids? so the other old people can eat them.
Because they have too many. Yeah, so they can
Yeah.
so we can give them to our grandparents.
So this is just like how Richard Spencer's opened the store Spencer's so you can get rid of all the weed paraphernalia that he wishes he didn't have.
Yeah, and the dildos.
And the dildos. The dildos with the heart once. But so I wanted to talk to you about our weeks that we're having. How's your week been going?
How's my week going?
Yeah.
It's been 1 week.
Have you got any new promotions at work? You get any raises? They recognize you for your value yet?
No, I did get free Panera though.
Oh fuck. Shit. That's like a muffin factory, right?
I don't think they even have muffins.
I was told it was a muffin factory. I could be wrong.
It's actually where they recorded all of the Pantera albums.
Yeah, and Panteras Labyrinth. If you remember that movie.
Yeah, but that's the Spanish stores. They're in Spain. Yeah.
So it's Panera. It's in Panama.
Yeah. Well, no, Panama's not in Spain.
Why not?
Because it's a Van Halen song.
Wow, Panhandling?
Panhandling.
We've got like 2 or 3 Tim songs already today.
Yeah,
it's a very Tim song heavy episode.
That's what people turn in for, right?
They turn down for Tim.
For what?
But, for nothing. I've been recording at Zach's lately. Our producer, our lovely producer Zach. If you're a recurring listener, you know the lore of the show. We found Zach, he found us. But Darwin, we found Darwin, something like that. I don't remember. I've never seen the Wild Thornberries, but
I have no idea what Ben's talking about.
So basically, I was going to record at my new house I just moved into for the first time. And I got there and realized my laptop was at my partner's house. So I grabbed my microphone and stuff and maybe spent 30 minutes cleaning the refrigerator like I do every now and then when I stop by. And I live in more or less what you could call a trap house at the moment. It's a transitional period that I'm in.
Yeah, it's like what those songs are about on the radio. That's exactly. Trap music. Yeah.
That's she's a trap banana house. You know that one? Trap house. It's in the middle of the street. You remember
the
that
Madness. One? That's right. Yeah.
I broke into our old trap house by Bare Naked Ladies. You know that one? That might not be Bare Naked Ladies. It might be like 3 Doors Down or something. Who knows?
Are you talking about
Crows?
Like, lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Is that what you're talking about?
That's BTMI. What are you talking about?
What?
No. I was talking about Bare Naked Ladies. It's talking about. It's
that
like
is a Bare Naked Ladies song, Ben.
It's the one about like why did you paint the walls or whatever.
Oh, I think that's the same era of Bare Naked Ladies. I think it's the same era
of the song you were just singing.
Yeah, Brian Wilson.
Brian Wilson was in Pet Sounds, the band.
Brian Wilson was in Bomb the Music Industry.
Brian Wilson was in Pet Symmetry. Brian Wilson gets around. He gets around, I get around. It's just what he does. Yeah. I'm assuming that's Beach Boys. Who gives a fuck?
We are so singing today. We are singing today.
We feel the music in our heart. You know?
Yeah.
It's so I gotta say though, I have a live-in landlord, like a landlord that lives in my house. So I guess like now we've become friends because he plays pretty good music and that's all that matters to me. Look. I'm not saying I won't eat him when I need to, but he's not got a lot of sustenance. But to make a long story short, I left there the other night at like 1 a.m. and I went over to my friend's house to sleep because it was kind of like a party at my house and I was not party mooded. I was ready to get out of there. And about 5 a.m. I wake up to a text from my live-in landlord that says, "Hey, should I buy a hearse today?" And I was like, I didn't even open it, didn't mark it as read. I just was like, all right. And at 10 a.m. I wake up to pictures of a hearse that my landlord bought. And also him asking me if I wanted to buy his van that he currently had because now he needed money for the hearse he just bought.
That's usually how money works.
It's just like, I don't know. I accused him of being Harold from Harold and Maude because he has a whole hearse thing in that movie. But my friend Ezra says that everyone he knows who's owned a hearse, despite the terrible gas mileage, it's like their favorite car they've ever had. But it feels like one of those things where you're really trying to justify your purchase, where you're like, no, that's great.
Yeah. See, in high school, there was this one kid, and he was like the biggest juggalo like in high school, and I'm talking Brevard County, so that's pretty high. Like, but this kid was, I think his name was even like Juggalo J or something like that. I forget.
Well, if you name your kid that, of course they're going to become a juggalo. Yeah,
I know, it's kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
And so he had his own like customized hearse with like, it was like, there was like I think he had ICP like decals and stuff all over it. And,
oh no.
Yeah. I never knew him personally.
Oh, personally.
You'd always see the fucking hearse though.
Mine would be
like,
called I would call mine a rehearse. And also another thing about mine is I tell people that like, oh yeah, people are just dying to get into this thing. You know what I mean? Because of
how long do you think that joke would be funny until
never? At what point would it be? Never. It's like I say it almost every time I pass a funeral, and or I'll be like, that's what I want on my tombstone. Like, I don't have a lot of good funeral jokes. I'm out of most of them.
Yeah.
Funeral, I mean graveyard jokes.
Graveyard jokes.
That's my juggalo name.
Graveyard jokes.
Old graveyard jokes.
Honestly, that would be like if Psychopathic Records signed like a country artist, that's probably what his name would be.
Grave Daniels here.
They like they have like the whole psychopathic thing is like they give you like a gimmick and then like you have to be that gimmick.
They choose it for you?
It's for the most part.
What if I would quick save right before they gave me one so I can go back and randomize it again? Just in case I didn't like it.
Yeah, the Monster Factory.
Yeah. I wish I could quick save in real life.
Well, you can't. Because if you could, we wouldn't be talking about this episode today.
Yeah, I would have quick saved right before that failure of a segue. Hold on, let me quick save. And then it comes back in like, well, speaking of quick saves, shit, I should have thought of something before I started that again. Quick save a seat for us as we sit down next to you and tell you about Dirty Dancin. So basically, spending the summer at a Catskills resort with her family, Francis, baby houseman, falls in love with the camp's dance instructor, Johnny Castle.
What?
Oh, that's Dirty Dancing. Hold on.
Is that what Tim Doyle wrote?
Hold on. The regulars of the Boston bar Cheers share their experiences and lives with each other, and Sam Malone is very dirty. That's Dirty Dancin.
a Tony Danza.
Yeah. I hold me closer, Ted Danson. I would say that this episode, what it's really about, it's Rob Hewlin and Tim Doyle went together on this one and wrote it. They're the dream team, you know.
The boys are back in town.
Yeah, exactly. The boys are back. And it's directed by Rachel Bilson's old man, Bruce Bilson.
That makes okay, so
friend of the podcast.
Ben put that in the notes. It sounds kind of gross. Like it sounds like you're like it's her husband.
Well, okay, so I've always noticed that people use old man to mean dad, but they use old lady to mean like wife.
Yeah. Ball and chain.
Is that like an Oedipus Rex type thing?
Oh, I don't know. He hasn't come into the series yet.
That would be fucking in the reboot. There's going to be an Oedipus Rex.
No,
his name's Ed Rex.
Oedipus Rex was the fucking turtle puss at the department, the pit of death. That was Oedipus Rex.
Yeah, for sure. And probably one of the lawyers who were interested in the picture of Fran sitting on her dad's lap.
Yes. Yeah, he loved it.
I just found out my friend Ezra has no idea who Sigmund Freud is, and I don't know how to handle that like information.
I think he could probably just use the internet.
I was just like, this motherfucker has never heard of that motherfucker. I just couldn't handle it. But speaking of motherfuckers, Robbie starts doing the mating dance in his sleep and at school. Fran finds out and decides, since Earl won't talk to his son about it, that the school needs to offer a course to the teenagers so they'll understand all about the mating dance. Basically, it's an episode of King of the Hill. You know what I mean?
It is a very
Similar.
typical sitcom episode for sure.
But like, other than the one where, you know, Peggy comes and teaches sex ed in an episode of King of the Hill, what else? I feel like Lois Griffin does it at some point too in The Family Dad.
Probably.
I feel
Is there
like
Simpsons. This has got to be a Simpsons.
I mean, that has to be the root of all evil. I have like I mean, they reference Simpsons in this episode, but
yeah, I know.
I do have I have the Marge Simpson Playboy issue, so I don't know how I feel about it. It's weird.
Yeah, I think we've discussed that. You also have the Simpsons couch, according to last week's episode.
Yeah, that's canonical. I just had to move that to our new place, and it was awkward.
Yeah. And so that's for all the actual people who listen week to week. So you'll get that. That's a little Easter egg for you.
Yeah, and for everyone who listens strong to strong, we got some trivia for you. And it's basically just about like the lack of syndicated appearance of this episode. Like Disney didn't want to play it, and they like would skip different like parts of it, and then well, just not play it all, but they keep the parts from the theme song, because I think which part in the theme song is it's where Robbie is saying "but wait."
Yeah, that's a very, like, for whatever reason, every bit of the opening credit scene is like, I always remember what episode each little clip is from, and that's a very distinct one.
That's why Tim's an expert. Tim's our expert on the scene.
That's right.
I'm our Oedipus Rexpert. But I don't know. Other than that, really, like the title apparently references a film I've never heard of called Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, I mean, well, you were describing it earlier there, but
No, that wasn't me.
oh,
I'm sorry.
Was that Brian?
It's no, actually, Brian won't go with me outside of Zach's studio. He only stays at Zach's house. Apparently, Zach feeds him from the table at dinner.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
He's a good boy, but I don't think you should give him table scraps.
No, you shouldn't be eating people food. It'd make him sick.
Yeah, last time I gave him a corn on the cob, he did a kickflip, and I was like, "Well, not having that. We will not have that."
Yeah, next thing you know, he'll be outside the door on the back porch trying to go inside with a humongous shit hanging out of his ass.
Yep, fucking, you can't handle that. Did that happen to you recently? Well, that was very descriptive. Not you, but to your dog.
Yeah, it happened this morning with Bella.
Bella.
She was outside, and all of a sudden I saw her go towards the front door, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I look, and there's just like a humongous piece of shit hanging out of her ass, and she couldn't get it out. I felt really bad. It's like she couldn't push it out, and like
did you have to handle it?
Well, I went inside to handle it. I got a bag to like pull it out of her butt.
You have to be really gentle about that. You can pull out her intestines.
And is that how that works?
I've just heard like when you're pulling out, you gotta like, if it's not coming on its own, you gotta stop. No, this is a real thing about pulling stuff out of dogs. If I know anything, you know about the title sequences and what episodes they belong to. I know about pulling string and stuff out of dogs' asses.
Well, I went inside to get it, and then she just got it out. So
she just grabbed it with her teeth and pulled.
Crisis averted. I don't know what happened. But
I like it when Bella learns new tricks. Like your dog, Bellatrix. That's her full name, right?
Oh God. All right, that's one. That's one, Ben.
That's Harry Potter is not the only thing with the name Bellatrix in it, as I assume. I've never heard it elsewhere. I met a kid named Seamus recently, so anything can be possible.
I know Seamus too.
Oh, is it one of those famous Seamuses, those cookies?
No, those are for old people.
Actually, they're scones if they're famous Seamuses.
Stale.
But if you eat scones too late at night, you start to have some weird ass dreams, like this one that we start this episode with Robbie having. So if you want to dive right into this wet dream,
I just want to dive in.
Hold the diver.
Talk about holy. We start the episode in Robbie's room. Also, okay, so Robbie's bed is very tiny. I don't know if you noticed this.
Earl doesn't care about Robbie.
For such a large ass dinosaur, he has a really tiny bed.
he doesn't need. He only needs half of it. You know what I mean? I don't know what I mean.
Yeah, and we get that shot of like down below, and then it comes up to his face, and he's like whispering, Caroline.
He's doing some ASMR. Caroline.
Yeah, and then we get the dream sequence, and he's at school for some reason.
Yeah, he's ready for the dance.
Yeah, and he sees Caroline sitting down, and he comes up to her. He's just doing the stanky leg.
Yeah, that's like literally what he's doing. I had to put that notes because he's just like moving it around. He's like doing 1/10 of the hokey pokey, and that's it.
Yeah, and he doesn't turn it all about.
No.
And then we get a very, Caroline. She does it too, but she like lifts up her leg. It's very racist.
She reveals more of her leg. I thought it was racist too. And then they start like kind of following each other back and forth, dancing, and they like join hands and do a little waltzing across the room.
Yeah, they start goose stepping. It's really weird. I don't know why. They're just being racist. And
what is goose stepping?
Goose stepping?
I gotta look it up so I make sure whether we have to edit it out.
It's bad.
Racist. Wait,
bad.
Oh, is this like what Nazis did?
Yeah, that's what they
apparently this is just what everybody marches like though.
Well, okay.
It says it's a special marching step performed in parades.
They had a lot of parades, Ben.
It originated in the Prussian military in the mid 18th century. Oh, nowadays it's heavily associated with Nazi Germany. Okay, I see.
Yeah. I'm
not gonna be one of those guys like the swastika meant peace. Like, no, it's for Nazis now.
Yeah. And while they're doing it, Karen's like, "Oh, I've never done the mating dance before, but I always dreamed it would be with you."
And Robbie's turned off because she was just doing some racist Nazi march. So like, wait, no, I think I'm confusing what we're saying with what happens in the actual episode.
Yeah.
So Robbie's just like, I guess dreams can come true, and then that transitions to him waking up, and maybe we'll see a dream coming true here in this episode.
Yeah, but I guess that means he came, right? He woke up, he was all sweaty, and it's like
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Dude, like the thing that I don't get about this episode, and we'll get into it more throughout, is the mating dance doesn't seem to lead to anything else, but somehow they get pregnant from it.
I mean, you could still get pregnant from pre-mating dance.
We didn't even. I don't get it.
Well, anyway, we get Robbie.
Okay, anyway, we join Robbie and Spike at school as the latter is expressing his lack of surprise at Robbie finally having his first mating dance dream. I guess like Spike's an old hand at this.
Yeah, well, I mean, as the episode goes on, I think we kind of learn that he's pretty experienced.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
He's one of those latchkey kids, Yeah,
and Robbie is just like, he's like so embarrassed. He's like, please, Spike, don't tell anyone.
It's not like, he tells him it's bound to happen. Like, it's your body's way of telling you you're ready.
Yeah, it's nature's drums pounding out a beat you cannot ignore.
I just like this part where he asks him what, like, ready for what? And he's just like, the big one. Bada bing, bada boom. Like, okay, what are you, a gargoyle from the fucking movie with the losing to the bird guy?
No, he's a soprano. That's what he is.
Oh, gabagool.
Yeah, bada bing gabagool. And
in a gabagoola, baby. That's my favorite song.
But Robbie is like, he is intent on not being embarrassed because he's just like, I can't control my dreams, but I can control myself. And Spike is just like, good luck.
Yeah. He does not see that coming true. And before Robbie can bring up, like, ask Spike why he's doubtful, Caroline approaches him from behind and pretends to like commiserate over how tough the lab report was, but clearly she's just trying to like get talk him up.
Yeah, she's trying to flirt with him.
Yeah, she's doing a little flirt stuff. I've never seen it in person, but I can recognize it on film.
But then Robbie thinks Caroline is dumb and begins to explain how he had no trouble at all with the laughter.
He is just like, it wasn't really difficult at all. But he's like, at this point, his leg's starting to go. Like, he's like, I don't know. He's like doing the stinky leg again. And it's like he's doing a whole fucking Louis C.K. shit thing. Like, I think that's what it would translate to.
He's doing it in front of her, and she's just like, "Oh my god, that's disgusting."
Yeah, and then I noticed that Earl's coworkers are all here doing like I'm assuming doing like a Drew Barrymore Never Been Kissed thing. Like all of them are reporters. All of them are reporters pretending to be high schoolers for this episode.
Turtlepuss is in multiple roles in this episode.
I know, but we have like almost every coworker except like Roy in this fucking scene. Well, no, we don't have sexual harassment until later tonight.
Yeah, I know. And like he just goes into like all out dancing. Like he's just, and the Mr. Pullman, the teacher, comes in, he's like, "Oh my god."
Look, Sinclair's doing the mating dance.
Someone call the nurse.
I'm glad you already remembered his name, because while I was taking notes for this episode, I was like, the science teacher, whose name escapes me, runs into the room.
Yeah, Pullman. I think it's always been his name.
Yeah, and it does come up later in the episode, and I was like, oh, there we go. But I didn't amend my notes at this point. But everyone is scared off by his crazy dancing, and tells them, they're like, somebody call the nurse, and Spike's the only one.
Him.
Yeah, Spike's the only one who stays with him and assures him, he's like, don't worry, I'm sure nobody even noticed.
And from there, we get the theme song.
But wait. That's the theme song with the "but wait" in it, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
And then so we only had 2 scenes in this cold open.
It wasn't as short. It wasn't as short as last week's, which blew by, but it was pretty short.
Yeah. And so after the theme song, we're back in the house, and Earl.
Guess who wrote this episode?
Tim Doyle.
It's gonna be very obvious in this scene where
oh yeah
they're watching TV, like Fran's like in the kitchen, but Earl and Baby are in their familiar locations in front of the television for some TV gags.
Yeah, it's like, stay tuned after Father Knows Nothing for the premiere of Dad's a Big Moron. And then at 9, it's more hijinks with Simpleton Father, followed by Brain Dead Dad.
Earl like forgets. I guess he forgets he was a network exec a few episodes ago. You know, he's just like he's the monotony of all these fucking TV shows. One show is a hit, and they turn out 50 more just like it with the same characters and same premise.
And then Baby's like, "Don't have a cow, man,"
which is a reference to Chris Griffin from Family Guy. Okay, now Tim's doing a reference to I think Kenan Thompson's character, the French guy from All That. Pierre.
Actually, it's more like the Vine of Justin Bieber.
Oh, I like that laugh.
Yeah.
God, I love like the way Justin Bieber looks lately. Like I saw a picture of him, and the caption was like that dude that like that roofer that leaves after he gets the first paycheck and doesn't come back. Like, oh, it's real. That's real.
Man. Not a roofer.
Not a roofer.
And,
I hardly knew her.
and then we get Robbie and Charlene come home, and Robbie goes like straight to his room complaining about twitching.
All pissy.
And, yeah. And Charlene's just like, I had the best day of my life.
Yeah, she explains that like Robbie made a fucking total geek out of himself, and that's like all she needed to have a good day. She's a sadist. That's purely like, she's a carnivore through and through.
Also, I love your you have a in the notes here, Ben, a typo. So it says geep, and I was thinking, what the hell is a geep?
You don't know what a geep is? It's
that's some Zillennial speak. Is that what that is?
Geep is it's a TV series starring Julia Louis-Dreyfus as the vice president.
But she's like a dork
of the gay United States, so it's a geep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Canada.
Canada is just the gay U.S. Is that what you're implying here?
Yeah, it's Manada, if you're of that persuasion.
Manada. Okay.
Yeah, a Manada hug and kiss.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of gay America.
Gay America.
Yeah, the Eminem hit. We Earl tells Fran that he's been expecting this for quite some time now. You know, the changes Robbie's going through. He's like, why, when a young male reaches a certain age, his body goes through special changes. He's bound to be frightened. He's bound to be confused. And as responsible parents, there's only one thing we can do: ignore it.
Yeah,
Which is
like
pretty much what happened. My parents only ignored it except for when they wanted it to be really awkward.
Exactly. But it like we learned in this episode, it's so much easier to just ignore it.
I thought you were going to say the correct thing, which is that you should talk about it, just not the way they do in this episode.
Yeah, because Fran is just like, well, Robbie, don't you want to talk about it with everybody in the family?
Yeah, she handles this so poorly. And I think it's funny because like neither of them have the right idea. I guess like the whole implication is that Earl should be the one who has to do it. And like, for one, I'll take any chance to say that Earl needs to do something. But there's no real reason that both parents can't be involved.
Yeah, and while they're talking about it, they're being pretty vague. So Baby is just like, wait, what is everybody talking about?
Yeah, so they know that when Baby finds out something is like taboo, he loves it and like is like super into it. And this is proven when they gaslight him and tell him they're talking about spoons, and he's just like, ha, spoons.
It's hilarious. Shmoo.
Yeah, go get me my shmoo spoon. It's like a poop knife.
Yeah, and so God damn it.
What's wrong with poop knives?
I never knew what that was until when Joyder recorded our record. I learned about poop knife. I didn't know about it.
That's the record label that Gutless is on, right?
No.
Poop Knife Records?
Yeah, Poop Knife Record.
No,
I'll suggest that to everybody.
The way you start phrasing it sound like a really terrible penthouse. Dear penthouse. I never knew what poop knife was until it happened to me.
No.
Dear trap house.
Yeah. The guy who recorded the album told us all about poop knife.
Yeah.
And I it was so funny to me.
I mean, it's not, I assume it's not real unless you want it to be, but it's a lot.
Of course. Yeah. If you don't believe in the monster, it's not real.
Yeah. He runs off the power of our belief.
Yeah.
So if you say
knife monster.
Yeah. If you turn off the bathroom lights, open the toilet and say poop knife 3 times in a row, like nothing. I mean, pretty much. I mean, nothing happens. I'm sorry. I'll spoil it. But if anybody wants to prove me wrong, record yourself doing it and send it to us.
That's right. At
SinclarityPodcast@gmail.com or tweet us at a Dinosaurs Tale. Is that what we are?
That's definitely us on Instagram.
And tweet us at Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Where's the poop knife?
And tweet
Barack
us at Arby's. And then you got it. That's all of us. That's all of our handles. Wait, also at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah. And because you could probably get a nice one at
at Bed Bath & Beyond. Like literally they got like, so you think like a poop knife, there's probably like one option, but you get a Bed Bath & Beyond, like it's a whole aisle of poop knives.
Yeah, and they're really expensive. Way more expensive than you think.
I had a poop knife sharpener there for like $38, but like it made my poop knives last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Usually they're just one and done. When you have as much fiber in your diet as I do.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what else they have at Bed Bath & Beyond now, Ben?
The rest of this episode or what?
No. They have piss drawer drainers.
Oh, yeah. I think it takes the fun out of it to have a drainer built into it. But like, I do understand that if you're like a single parent, like you can't just be dumping the piss drawer every 2 days, It's true. Like you can't. It's not funny. Like people they work hard every day. They have 3 kids, sometimes 4, the maximum amount of kids anyone's ever had, and they just like piss in all these drawers all day.
They all piss in the same drawer too.
Yeah,
it's a communal piss drawer.
Yeah, that's why I hate Karl Marx, is because of the communal piss drawers.
Yeah. Well, good thing Grimes is reading some Karl Marx, so maybe she'll figure it out. She's smart.
Yeah, she's yeah. So anyway, baby's distracted with spoons while Earl tries to lead the conversation at dinner once Robbie gets there with something else.
Yeah, and Robbie's just like, hey, what was everybody talking about? And baby's just like, spoons.
And so Earl starts by he gives the conversation like fucking reins over to Charlene and asks her about that party dress she's interested in. But
yeah, and she's just like, what dress? And he's like, that's the one.
Earl does not listen to anything anyone says back to him, so it's so funny when he just like leaves it out there, like, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But
well, I thought it was him just like admitting defeat. Like it was just like he was trying to move the conversation along, and she was just not biting. So he's just like, yeah.
This is just like when he was like trying to do one of those with Spike, but they like Spike said something completely different than him. Like Earl is tired of taking these people to improv class with him when they won't fucking yes and for shit.
They're terrible. This is the worst improv group ever.
Although you got to know, Earl would be the one that just pulls out a gun in every scene. For sure. Like they're just like, it's a normal scene at the grocery store. He's like, I'm a cop. Blam, blam, blam. It's like, all right.
Armed Anderson. And,
yes.
But instead, Charlene notices what he says, and she's just like, you know what? I did see a really nice dress the other day, but it was on Caroline Foxworth. And Robbie just like fucking just goes crazy. Like he gets a boner instantly.
Yeah, an instant boner.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like that. It hits the table.
Like you fill it up to the line, put it in the microwave 60 seconds, fucking instant boner time. And like, it's like, Charlene's evil. That's all I could say. And because she starts going into like talking about Fran's like, who's Caroline? And Charlene's like, oh, you know, the girl with a really shapely tail. You know how you talk about people like others, like when somebody's like, who are you talking about? Like when your mom asks you and you're like, you know, the tits, the walking tits.
The one with the tightest tits in the game.
Although I guarantee like that would be if there was like a girl that had specifically like really big boobs and my mom was trying to get me to describe someone and I waited like till the end to say that, she'd be like, why didn't you just say that?
Yeah, but it's just weird because like Charlene is just like going real in, like she's just like, yeah, you know, like her tail's really filled out since 7th grade.
Yeah, like she's like, how does she even sit on it? I'm like, I was getting a little bit, I was starting to dance a little.
Yeah,
like it was some pretty colorful language.
And Robbie just gets up and he's just dancing all around the fucking room.
Yeah, it's. I gotta say, like, this is a little bit like I remember almost getting caught a couple times dancing, if you know what I mean, when I was younger.
At the dinner table?
Well, nobody was in the dining room but me, so I had to, you know, like they don't make those little towels that wrap around silverware just for silverware. They have to be for something else. I couldn't think of anything better. Sorry. Were you did you ever get caught dancing at your house as a kid?
No,
I never got caught either. It's just I got brutally close. It was pretty rough. I did get in trouble for like going on like weird websites and stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah, you gotta stay off of those Sonic websites.
Yeah, it's a feminine trait. I blamed it on like a neighborhood kid once when like there were like porn pop-ups popping up when I was 10.
Yeah, you said it was his fault.
I said that he was like, oh, Sean was just pressing all this stuff and looking up.
Wow, he used his name
stuff.
And everything.
It's true. Like, well, I changed it for the podcast. His real name is Sean. And
SEAN.
Oh yeah, there you go. I'll give it that one. But then it backfired because I wasn't allowed to hang out with him for a while, and I was like, shit, my mom thinks he's a total pervert. When it was I
have a funny story about that too, where I remember one time when we first had dial-up internet, I would wait like a long time for my mom to get off the phone because she would like be talking on the phone, and I would get very mad as like a child. And but I had like Windows Media Player because I would like listen to music all night, and I had I was listening to Pinkerton by Weezer, And the
Oh shit! I didn't know
first,
you used to be gay. Go on.
and I think that's the opposite, Ben.
Do you know Weezer? 2 in the Pinkerton, 1 in the Sinkerton. Go on.
Anyway, so the first track on Pinkerton is called Tired of Sex. And my mom saw that and she was just like, oh my God, Tim, are you looking at dirty websites on the internet?
And that put the idea in your head for the first time. You're like, wait a minute, there's websites that are dirty as Ted Danson?
As dirty as Weezer's Pinkerton?
As dirty as those half Japanese girls that River Cuomo dreams about?
Shredding the cello?
Not listening to Green Day? But I was thinking of the copyrights. But yeah, so we gotta say that Robbie dances out of the room, kind of yelling like for everyone to just leave him alone. Because like Fran did try to launch into it now that he was already like up and dancing. She's like, oh, let's talk about this jerking off that you're doing at the table.
No, but she instead she sends Charlene and the baby upstairs.
So she can talk about spoons and mating with her old man.
Yep. And Fran's just like, no, you really need to talk to your son about mating. And Earl's just like, no. It's just like, he'll just pick it up on his own. He's like, it's a complex system involving rumors, adult novelty items, and limericks.
That's way too realistic and it's annoying. I don't think my dad ever said a thing to me about it.
Adult novelty items. And no wonder Disney didn't want this episode.
Yeah, Disney, with the one who has the dildo on the cover of Little Mermaid. They don't want the adult novelty items. But yeah, so he's like mentions that he himself, that's how he learned, and he happens to be pretty competent in the bedroom, Franny, right, Fran? Pudding? I can fuck Fran, right? I'm good to you, baby. And she's not she's not responding at all. She's just thinking about that guy Ed Rex from high school that really knew what he was doing.
She's thinking about Gary.
Oh yeah,
because just imagine what Gary's packing. Like,
yeah, I don't want to get Garied away, or do I? But
literally, I think he could just pick you up and take you away.
Yeah. But we cut scenes instead. It's Fran is just at the end of her affair with Mr. Pullman, so she's talking to him about how the school should be teaching kids about the mating dance.
Yeah,
it's important. Kids need to know about this kind of thing.
And Pullman's just like, we stand by a firm policy at this school. If we don't teach it, they don't do it.
Yeah, and like Fran accuses him of being irresponsible, but he's not listening. He's like la 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 la, hiding his ears or whatever the fucking dinosaurs have on their head that they hear from.
Yeah, and Fran being the very concerned mother, she's just like, Mr. Pullman, the kids need to understand that the mating dance is not a physical act, but also the catalyst for a series of possible consequences.
Yeah, and Mr. Pullman just argues that even if the school allowed it, who would take the task of teaching such a filthy subject? Dirty Dancin himself?
That's right. And then we get a hard cut, and Mr. Pullman comes in, and he's like, hello, kids. He's like, today we're going to learn about something very sensitive and unsavory, the mating dance. Yeah, and he tells them that at least they don't have to worry about the fact that it won't be one of the teachers like degrading themselves for this. It's some hua down the street. Yeah, and it's Fran. And yeah, of course. And she's like, you can call me Fran or Mom
or fuck teacher.
So she wants the kids to call her mommy.
She was like looking directly at Robbie for that part. I'm just like, she's in like the thing about this episode is like nobody would handle it the way she's handling. Like she's going way out of like in the wrong direction.
Yeah, but of course, all the other kids are like kind of excited. I can't tell. And
Fran must be hot.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. And Robbie's just mortified. So we already know where this is going.
But so basically there's this repeating concept that comes out on this episode where they mention like she's like, I'm not advocating for you youngsters to engage in the mating dance. Personally, I believe the mating dance is most appropriate within the confines of a loving monogamous relationship, preferably marriage. But like that comes up all the time throughout this episode, that preferably marriage.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, but right now she's aware that's very frustrating for them, and they all giggle at that.
Yeah, so she admits that there's not a lot of textbooks about it, but she's like, we got a special video from the Pangea Navy.
Yeah, so this is gonna be interesting. It's the instructional film on naval hygiene, kinkers away or down periscope.
This part, I laughed the entire time. It's so funny.
I like the part where she was like, before I turn this instructional video on, don't ask about the tables. That's all I could think of when she was turning these on, is that the next scene was going to be just fucking tables again.
But wait a minute, what's her job?
He's a Navy sailor. But so we have this Navy sailor talking to his superior about how he's excited to go down to the dance hall and get some hoochie coochie from the native. Yes, hoochie coochie.
But his superiors warns him. He's like, you can't just go down there with those waltzing Matildas and the people getting mating dance related injury.
Yeah, all these hoochie coochie on the left hand side. It's wild down there. Waltzing Matildas, by the way, what the fuck does that mean?
That is a song.
What? Is it really? No, it isn't. By who?
Yeah.
Roald Dahl?
I don't know, but it's a song from like, I want to say World War I era.
I've never heard of that band.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The band, my new band, World War I era.
It's called
RROR though.
It's a Australian style of poetry and folk music. It's a song developed in the Australian style of poetry and folk music called a bush ballad. Like where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day? But I guess it's referencing the Australian bush people. So
you mean Chattahoochee who?
Waltzing, yeah, hoochie coochie, yeah. So like, Waltzing Matilda is also referred to as the country's unofficial national anthem in Australia.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I only know it from there's a Pogues. There's like a Pogues song.
Are Pogues Australian? I thought they were like Scottish or Irish.
No, they're like an Irish band, but they're from the UK.
They all sound like different types of pirates to me. You know what I mean?
It's my cousin Shade McGowan. He's in the band.
What else was I watching this weekend with a McGowan in it? I watched something with a Rose McGowan in it, I think.
Rose, yeah.
I think there's a few McGowans that pop up and things, and I always think it's funny. I just think about you every time.
I know, I'm related to all of them.
Well, in God's eyes.
Just like you're related to all the other hand up me's.
Yeah. Kermit for one. How many hand up me's are there? The Waltzing Matilda.
Waltzing Matilda. Yeah, it's a very sad song about like World War I or something like that.
Then why are they like? I just don't know. Like, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me is one of the lyrics. So it's a verb. Like, it's not even a person.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the English language works.
Did Australia even watch the Danny DeVito movie Matilda?
I'm sure they got it at one point. Probably about 10 years later.
The original cut of that movie, Danny DeVito played every role.
That's amazing.
Just imagine it. Just for a second,
great.
Imagine like it's
I would
perfect.
watch that.
Just him as like the Trunchbull, he's like, I hate children. I'm glad I never was one. And like Matilda walk, Miss Honey.
Give me, download me a hoagie.
Oh, I can do it myself. I'm like magic and shit. It's the best movie ever.
Yeah, when he's like running,
go on.
He's running through Trunchbull's house. He's like coming out of the couch.
I just picture him like when he like goes to the library to get the big kid books. And he's like, "You see this fucking book I just read? It's great. It's huge. I'm a little kid. I'm very smart.
I got this big book for my massive dog."
I'm big, you're small. I'm also small and you're big. I get confused because we look alike.
Oh, we're just talking about Mario now.
Yeah. So basically, back from the Waltzing Matilda's conversation. The Navy superior is warning him that he's going to get a mating dance related injury.
Yeah, and he's just like, that would never happen to me. That would happen to the other guy.
That's how I always feel about everything. So I get that, but like sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and you got to put on those safety shoes, the protective footwear.
Yeah, to do the safety dance.
Yeah, to do exactly. And if your friends don't dance, they ain't no friends of mine. That song's promoting orgies.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, his superior, he tries to tell him, it's like, we're at like epidemic proportions of like what's going on here, and the sailor's just like, my body, my right, bro.
Yeah. He's like, I don't have to wear a mask in my dongle if I don't want to.
Yeah. But of course, we get the reiteration of that the mating dance should only be performed within the confines of marriage.
Yeah, but if abstinence is unavoidable, at least wear the footwear. Unlike Ensign Doyle, who
Ensign Doyle.
I don't know how to fucking say that.
Ensign.
Yeah, somebody who's involuntarily signed. He's not gonna.
It's Doyle from the Misfits.
Yes, and he has too gross of an injury for the dinosaurs to even show us. Like the viewers don't even get to watch it; they like pan away.
Yeah, they're just like,
mm-hmm. But
so,
Fran was let down by this. It turned out to be another propaganda infused film that didn't really teach anything about the mating dance itself, just warned them about dangers of it. That, I guess it got something across though, because she didn't bring up the disease possibility yet.
No, she didn't. Instead, she just shows the entire chart, the step chart of how to do the mating dance.
Yeah, essentially, I guess porn, puts on porn.
Yeah, she just went straight to the porn.
And spike bada bangs again.
Yeah, she's got to show us the whole thing.
Bada bang. But Fran teaches, she's like, this is the physical act itself, but more important are the feelings that are such an essential part of the mating experience. Each of you has very deep and personal thoughts that you may be confused about, and it may help to talk about them right here in class. Now, who wants to begin? Fucking goes with this evil hag. She literally zones in on her son, who already was embarrassed in front of the whole class because he danced in front of them.
Yeah, and now she wants him to talk about his boner.
Why does she so much want to know this about her son?
I don't know. It's a trap. She just trapped him. And,
it's fucked up.
Yeah, and then we come back home, and she's like, Earl, I can't believe these students, they just want to learn so much.
Yeah, she's very impressed with how curious and precocious they all are.
Yeah, and Ravi was so quiet though. Yeah. And Earl's, that's another thing. Okay, back to the classroom. We should get a screenshot of it though. Did you notice they had the dino periodic table on the thing?
No, I didn't see that.
I want to know what it says. You don't get a good shot of it, but I'm curious as to what it says in the background.
I wonder if that's it. None of these props exist, and it bums me out.
I know, but I also speaking of that, it's also funny too, because when she comes into the house, Earl's making a sandwich, and he takes the giant spoon and puts it in something, and then he acts like he's spreading it. It's spreading it on the bread.
What the fuck? You always notice the things that I'm too busy typing out shit to notice when I'm watching it.
Yeah, see, we get the best of both worlds in this show.
Yeah, just like Hannah Montana herself. That's right. That is Hannah Montana.
I know, right? You know.
Yeah, there you go. That everybody knows that everybody knows. It's gonna take some no to be on the road.
That's Carly. Sorry.
I remember when the Drake and Josh theme would come on, and I was staying at my aunt's house. She was like, "I fucking hate his voice." She could not stand that theme song.
See, I don't know that one. I only know the iCarly one.
Oh, then you must be more of a fake and Gosh than a Drake and Josh. You know what I mean?
I'm a real fan.
A real fan? You didn't even like Drake and Okay, so what about the Amanda Show?
I was a little bit too old at that point when the Amanda Show.
No, you were not. You're barely older than me.
Popular.
I
really didn't. I didn't really watch it that much.
You gotta. There was this sequence in it. This is very important to viewers at home, listeners at home, called Moody's Point,
I do know about that.
That's the best, almost the best thing on television. Like I would say, like beyond ahead of its time by far. Definitely ahead of its age. Like the kids doing that bit is really funny. What is that supposed to mean? It's very good.
Yeah. But anyway,
speaking of hot air balloons.
Yeah, and
Robbie drops his sandbags, freaking out. That's the hot air. That's my segue, because he starts to say that like his mom asked if it was embarrassing to have her at the class, and he's like a little, and he's like, you know what, a fucking lot, actually, if we're talking about it.
He's like, today was probably the single most excruciatingly painful, humiliating day that I'll ever have to experience for the rest of my life.
For real. And then he does the thing from the theme. But wait, you're coming back tomorrow. Ha! Just show up every day.
Yeah.
Like he's having his own Moody's Point breakdown right there, and it's Earl is laughing at Fran for this, but he's trying to hold himself back. He says he's trying to be bigger than normal. But he doesn't want to outright gloat about the fact that he was incredibly right and she was incredibly wrong, as he puts it.
Like he always does. Like he loves this.
He loves a toe to so's. And Fran won't let it go and considers going up to Robbie's room to talk to him. Like in this, like, does she not know like any kind of like Earl's ineffectual and she is boundaryless? Like it's not working very well. They need a third parent.
Yeah, they need a.
Where's Ethel?
Where has been Ethel?
I know
Ethel hasn't been in any of these episodes, Ben.
I know we've had a lack of Ethel, and it's driving me crazy. I miss Ethel.
Did someone have like a week off or something?
I guess that must be what's going on. Like, what was her name? Like Florence Stanley, something like that. The actress must have been. I mean, she's dead now, but not yet as this happens.
Yeah, but
poor old lady.
And Earl, while talking to Fran, he's just like trying to be like as like fucking dim-witted as he could, and he's just like talking bad, not talking not bad.
Yeah, and to ensure that they do no further damage to his parents, he suggests they just sit there, watch some good, non-confrontational domestic comedies on the boob tube.
Yeah, and we get another Tim Doyle classic with a totally ineffectual dad.
Yeah, and I think it's the little Timmy puppet that runs across the screen on fire.
Definitely.
But, yeah.
And if you know me, Ben, you know I love when someone or something is running around on fire. That is the funniest thing.
I love that because like my friend Tinley, similar name to you, a little different, is terrified of that exact thing. Like that scares her to see, and it's her biggest fear is like catching on fire and dying that way.
It's
so
funny.
I know like you fucking love it. You sick sadistic freak, but
like that scene in Lord of the Rings is the best. It's so
it
funny.
Is funny. I think it's funny too.
It's supposed to be very dramatic, but to me it's just fucking hilarious.
They don't have enough funny moments in that movie, so I appreciate it a lot.
Not at all. Not unintentionally funny. There's some forced comedy in there, but not that.
There's no, you're thinking of Star Wars. You said force? No, different thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
you're thinking of Star Trek. You said comedy? I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we're watching Totally Ineffectual Dad, and it's little Timmy, or Eddie as he's called in this, goes running across on fire, and the mom's like, honey, I'm concerned about Eddie. He seems to be on fire. Should we talk to him?
I don't know, sweetheart. What if I say the wrong thing?
Earl has this like look like it's starting to like he's like a little bit perturbed, like he gets that it might be kind of reflecting his life a little bit.
Yeah, and to really fucking drive the point home with a fucking drill, they're both eating sandwiches at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of double deckers, upstairs in his room, Robbie's also watching TV to distract himself from his troubles, aka the female kind.
Yeah, and he sits cool style.
Cool style?
With his dick out.
What is cool style?
He turns the chair around.
Oh, like hello, fellow teenagers type, turn the chair around, level with the kids type thing.
Honestly, it's probably easier because his tail. So it's probably easier for him to sit like that.
That's the only way he could sit, probably.
Yeah.
That's how he became cool. It was an accident. He had to sit like that so long he became cool.
He was born that way. And And yeah, so he turns the TV on, and it's like, hello and welcome to the 12th annual Southern Pangea Flower Show and wet t-shirt contest. Yeah. And Robbie's just like, oh no, my boner. And
girls. It's no matter what he changes it to, it just keeps being more and more girls.
Because sex sells, baby.
Yes.
And I'm buying.
And I'm bi. And hi, I'm Mandy. I love doing the mating dance, but I'm all alone. Why don't you call me? And we can do the mating dance together, discreetly over the phone.
Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby.
So this hotline that is mentioned, have you ever called one of those hotlines?
No.
Like not even just to hear the message?
It seems like such a waste of money, Ben.
No, but not to do it. Like I just remember, and I was so young when this happened. I remember when I was like first or second grade, this kid at school was talking about like, just call whatever. You got a credit card, blah, blah, blah. Like the kid was trying to sound funny, talking about one of those sex lines. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I like called it and heard like the voice like talking to me. And it was yeah, I didn't have a credit card, so I couldn't get involved. But
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I hear it's a laugh a minute.
But Robbie can't change the channel. And so all of a sudden, while the commercial's still going,
he starts dancing.
He just starts dancing. He's dancing his little heart away. He's hoping the infomercial lasts a little bit longer.
He's dancing like somebody's watching, the right somebody. And unfortunately, this is when his mom bursts in again.
Yep. And she's just like, oh, no, it's okay. It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
I don't know if you noticed yet where I put in the notes, has Tim ever been caught jerking yet?
You just wanted to prod.
I didn't want to, I wanted to not prod. I just didn't want to forget it, but I remembered it earlier in the episode, so I guess I didn't have to write it down.
Yeah. No. But Robbie did. and then we go to the next day and he couldn't wait to tell Spike.
And Spike's just like, I wish it was your dad who walked in. Got to keep the Spike dad love alive.
Yeah. And Spike's just like, these are hormonal pressures of a frightening magnitude welling up inside of you.
You sound like fucking John Travolta in Grease now.
Hey,
you gotta try to ignore them. The wickedly talented. Your feet could explode.
I mean, his feet were ready to explode.
A rocking and a rolling. Yeah, you know, Sandy. Anyway.
Well, yeah, and
that's my John Travolta.
Saturday Night Fever, his feet were going to explode. He just had to dance.
That's what the whole movie is about, I think. He had cold feet, and so he had to dance to warm them up.
Yeah. And Robbie's just like, well, he's like, what am I supposed to do? And
well, you got a choice, Scooter. You can either wait a few years till you find the right girl, win her heart, forge a loving sacred bond that lasts a lifetime, or you can cha-cha tonight for $1 a dance.
Yeah. And
fucking titty bar time.
Yeah. Okay. So Issa brought this up too while we're watching the episode. Is it supposed to be a strip club or is it supposed to be a brothel?
I don't. These are the same image.
Okay.
No. I mean, like it can be interchangeable in some parts of Pangea.
Sure. But this one just opened, as we'll learn about.
This one just opened. Yeah, this is probably. I mean, it's the newest profession, so we don't know yet.
And but before we actually see it, Fran is like, she's waiting by the door, and Robbie hadn't come home, and Earl is just like basically blaming her, just like, well, that's what happens when you speak to him.
Yeah,
your son runs away.
He's such an asshole whenever like anything's going on. Like he's so useless. It's like that TV show. You remember that one from the 90s, Totally Ineffectual Dad?
Yeah, which we get the second episode of.
My Bad Religion.
He's a totally ineffectual dad, right?
No, mommy's on Valium, so ineffectual. Whoa, you know, the 21st century dinosaur boy.
I was going for the same song, but I messed it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Daddy's a middle class intellectual.
I was thinking like 21st century. Whatever.
No, I've never heard of that song.
Okay. And
Okay. You're like, fuck you.
Earl, I don't care about my religion.
Oh shit. I'm gonna get like I'm gonna get like a cross logo. It's like the opposite of bad religion.
Whoa.
That people think I'm like real edgy.
You can't do that.
Well, you can't. What are you gonna cross me? What are you gonna do?
Christopher Cross. Carrying Cross.
Okay.
So anyway, Earl's watching episode 2, I assume, of Totally Ineffectual Dad, or he DVR'd it and paused it and got back to it. We're not sure.
It could just be the same episode. Well, I think it's probably the same episode.
Yeah, because we get the wife in the scene. She's like, "Honey, Eddie jumped into the river to put the fire out."
Yeah, see, these things have a way of taking care of themselves, don't they, dear? Like,
she's like, he doesn't know how to swim. You never taught him.
And I think he says he'll learn to swim the way I did in the streets. And I like the announcer pops back in to pique viewer interest for the upcoming special funeral episode of Totally Ineffectual Dad.
No, it's not. It's the hilarious funeral episode.
It's hilarious. Oh my god. I love a funny funeral. That's what puts the funny in funeral.
Yeah. That's like when you get your body to like get pulled by strings and you do the stanky leg.
Yeah, and then you fly out the bottom of that casket or whatever.
Yeah, and they play all your Clash records. Yeah.
Oh, and you eat a dick and you grow up. Mm-hmm. How did we switch to that? How did we get here? Anyway,
I don't know why I always think about that line in the song.
I think all the time about, like, I'm like, that'd pretty much be my funeral, except I don't care about, what was that, Ferris wheel or something like that? Don't care for that.
Yeah.
I don't care for cotton candy.
But you could get John Stamos to come and act like he knows you.
That's true. Well, to act like he knows me, he does know me. He wrote
John Stamos.
Yeah, John Stamos wrote "Jagged Little Pill" about me.
Oh yeah.
Little known fact.
Are you sure it wasn't Bob Saget?
Who? The guy who made Dirty Jobs, Dirty Work, Dirty Mike Rowe himself.
that dickhead.
I want Mike Rowe to be at my funeral, just crying so hard.
He's like, "Why are you crying?" He's like, "My show got canceled."
He's like, "I don't even know where I am right now. My show got canceled.
I need an adult."
He's like, "I had a lot of money riding on Ben dying a different way."
The dirtiest job is me digging up his grave later.
Well, that's my fault. I did bury myself with his cat, but that's just what happens. Yeah, so okay. let's row our boat on to the next.
We can't all be Egyptian.
So speaking of Egyptians, Earl seems to be
dance like one. We walk like one.
Yeah, he seems to be. No, I thought that we're not getting back to the way people walk in this episode because I learned a lesson. But Earl seems to be getting the idea now. He's watching this episode, seeing himself reflected once again. Art reflects life. Life reflects art.
Yeah, and
the circle remains unbroken.
We're at the best little dance hall in Pangea.
Oh yeah,
and we get the two sailors who probably have the proper protection on, I assume.
I doubt it. Sailors never do. Yeah,
and he's got he's just like, "Hey, how much can $4 get me?" And he's just like, a junior bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah, I was gonna say junior bacon cheeseburger, a small fry, a little piece of nuggets, and a soda.
a small Sprite.
Yeah, I was thinking of Wendy's. Wendy's tangos hit these guys' laps. Am I right? But
hold the dip. Don't give me any sauce.
They do tell them to hold the dip, and I'm like, because like they dip during the tango. Is that part of the it's like a dance move? I think it's weird that they say hold the dip because that really brings up Wendy's in my mind.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
If you're a dip, I'm a dip.
We're all dips, yeah. I'm a dip. She's a dip.
Too much music in this episode.
We're gonna get sued.
Yeah. I'm just a dip and life is a wet dream. So Robbie is apprehensive about this place, but Spike is
the new guy.
Spike is pro sex work and sums it up pretty nicely.
Yeah.
Hey, Scooter, there's nothing wrong with taking one of life's most personal and intimate experiences and putting a cash value on it. That's what separates us from the animals.
Only friends.
Yeah, they're talking about Legos actually. The most personal intimate
Oh,
experience.
I mean, it is very cathartic.
Inexpensive.
Yeah, and expensive.
Yeah.
Definitely expensive.
That's what sucks about being straight edge is you save money on drugs, but you spend it all on Legos. That's what happens in the long run.
It's the worst.
Everyone has a vice. Everyone has a vice.
Yeah.
But
And they're not on Vice.
yeah, no, they're on Noisy, the lesser known publication.
Yeah.
But Robbie submits to this worldview and asserts that he wants to get over this whole thing and not be led around by his feet for the rest of his life. So feet and tails is what we're learning here. Feet is dick, tail is boob. Yes. What else? What is the other stuff? What dinosaur parts do we think are the other stuff?
So these dinosaurs don't have genitals, but they produce children.
Where are the butts? Where are the buttholes? That's what I want to know.
So we get turtle puss and
okay.
and sexual hair.
Okay, now I'm getting it. So they come up. They're doing a whole bird cage thing, I guess, or whatever.
Okay, so it's not drag. Even though they use these costumes for male characters, it's just like they didn't have any other costumes.
No, I think they intentionally make it look like a drag character. I don't think that's on accident. Okay. I think they were trying to make it look like Nathan Lane, like in fucking Birdcage.
It's divine. It's
Ursula.
Ursula, yeah.
Ursula. But yeah.
Ursula, right?
That's what I said. That's what I just said.
That's what your friend drives.
Yeah, I was trying to say it like really under the radar, but you came in and fucking amplified my voice. I felt like, you know how Eminem sometimes has like 2 tracks of his vocals, one left, one right. Yeah, that's what he said. Ving, ving, ving.
Side note, I know we're getting off the rails. There's a side note here, and I pointed this out to Issa. The new Venom movie just came out, the second one with Carnage, and Eminem has.
Oh, go on. Sorry, I was gonna ask if he got stuck in a fish tank again.
No. Tom Hardy.
Well, I ain't gonna watch it.
Well, Eminem has like a lockdown on the soundtrack for Venom for some reason. Like I think Shady Records like releases the soundtrack, but he has a new song that I heard by chance, and he in the middle, he's the last verse on the song. It has other people, and in the verse he mentions the second plane hitting the Trade Center.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. I swear to God.
I cannot imagine that this is even possible.
You gotta listen to the song.
Does he like? Does he reference or just say it directly? Like.
He like says it like direct. He's like, it's like the plane hit the other building. like he literally says that.
To be fair,
it even has a sound effect of a plane.
He's just really getting off on the fact that he could say the line about Columbine now. I don't think you're allowed to say that.
Well, he did on the Venom 2 soundtrack. So. I'm just
what is wrong with this guy?
That's free advertisement for Eminem.
Yeah, if you like jokes about the World Trade Center and hate women, especially your mom, you might like Eminem.
Yeah. Anyway, we get Turtle Puss and Sexual Harris. They come up to the Spike and Robbie, and Spike's just like, oh, this is my friend Robbie. He's about to say Sinclair. And Robbie's like, Jones. And he's like, Robbie Jones, Mr. Jones. And
that's what it's based on for sure.
Yeah, and he's just like, I'm from out of town, from far away.
I look, I'm a little distracted because I cannot find anything about these lyrics mentioning World Trade Center. Did you have a dream where you wrote an Eminem song?
I swear to God.
It's okay. It's perfectly natural. Everybody at some point will have a dream where they write an Eminem song.
It's perfectly normal. Not embarrassing at all.
That's normal, ain't it, Norman? Fuck. I know too much Eminem. We gotta keep going. We gotta get past this. I'm sorry that I held you back.
Welcome to M Clarity, the Eminem podcast.
Hi, my name is Timmy. My name is Benny. My name is Ticka Hand Up Me. Sorry, there's no Sinclair in my headphones. Anyway, we don't pull punches. That's weak shit. We just do this all one take. This is the most I've ever made Tim laugh, and I'm but yeah, bless your heart. Let's hold the dip and get back into so I gotta ask you where we were because I got distracted. Oh, he's introduced him as Mr. Jones, so he's doing the Counting Crows thing.
Yeah.
Was it a thing like kids told you that Mr. Jones was his penis?
No.
When I was a kid, that was a thing. Like everyone said, he's talking about his dick.
Weren't you like 4 years old when that song came out?
It's still out. Like I wasn't only 4 when it was out. Like people talked about it still when I got older. But like I just remember like listening to it and trying to make it was like she's looking at you. Oh no, she's looking at me. And I'm like, he's talking about his dick, really? Like I thought it was real. I thought it was real.
Yeah, she's just staring at his dick through his gray sweatpants.
I thought girls only noticed Skechers. That like the commercial Skechers said. That's the first thing they noticed, not dick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, gray sweatpants though. Then that's what's up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's Mr. Jones from out of town, far away. Doesn't even have a phone.
I don't even know what you're referencing. But...
That's what he says. He says, I don't even have a phone.
Oh.
And they walk off with Robbie to break in his new shoes, ignoring his pleas to Spike to be saved.
Yeah, and Spike's like all about it, though. He goes with Turtle Puss. So
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, he does. You know they call it Turtle Puss? You know why they call it Turtle Puss? Because
out a little bit. His head peeks.
I was gonna say slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, which we get to here because we get
you young dinosaurs, you young males dance too fast.
Yeah, they go a little too fast.
Yeah, I've been there. You know what? Some of us just have a little problem. You don't have to point it out, Harris.
Women, not women. 1 Minute Man, right?
1 Minute Man. I never understood why people hate the Minutemen, but like, a pretty decent band, you know.
Yeah, they're pretty fun.
But Robbie is now alone with Sexual Harris, and tries to make a little small talk, break the tension, asking if the club is new. You know, we get our little joke referencing prostitution being the oldest profession, other than fishing.
The youngest.
Yeah, it's the youngest profession now. That's not really how reversing time works. Like it wouldn't be like that would mean there's still older professions than it.
Yeah, but he tries to dance with her, and she's just and he's just like, I don't know what I'm doing, so he asks for the usual. Yes,
yeah, he has 2 left dicks. You know, he really can't get this dance going.
Yeah, they both lean to the left.
I do like that whole like saying the usual to seem like he knows what he's talking about. Like the best way to get out of that situation is pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty smooth.
She notices immediately. She's like, "Oh, this is your first time. Bless your heart."
Yeah, and so she's leading the dance, you know, and he's just has to stop it because he's just like, you know what, this just doesn't feel right. You know, I want it to be the right place, the right person, or dinosaur, or couch. I don't know what he's into. Can't limit anything.
His Simpsons couch. And,
yes.
Sexual Harris.
Yeah, I don't think we
Harris.
ever get her name, so she's Sexual Harris.
And she's like, you know what? You're right. You know, the mating dance is most appropriate within the confines of a loving monogamous relationship, preferably marriage.
Yeah. So Robbie apologizes and she consoles him. She's like, "You've given me something to think about." And then she shouts, "Number 34," which I don't know how she knows about Rule 34. I thought it was interesting. I just looked at my notes. I didn't think about that when I wrote it, but I looked at them just now. I was like, why am I talking about Rule 34? Oh, that's really what she shouts.
Is that where this came from? People watching this episode?
I mean, they couldn't help themselves.
Yeah. So when she wanders off and then all of a sudden Earl is just there.
Yeah, because he left to take a walk earlier. So he knew where to find him. He's been around the block.
Yeah, he's like, give me some credit.
Yeah. He's like, because this place won't. They said I've expired all my credit here.
Yeah. He's like, I love it so much here. It's my favorite place.
He walks in and everybody's like, Earl. And then
Dirty, like
this is Dirty Dancin. This is
just like Cheers.
Yeah, you got Dirty Sam Malone working there. This all makes sense in the end, baby.
Yeah, and he's just like, Robbie, I need to talk to you. And
Yeah,
he sits him down.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so there was this Navy film.
Yeah, seen it. Oh, did it work for you? Nope, didn't learn shit. So
also, okay, so it's not that he says there was this Navy film. He says, I saw this film when I was in the Navy.
Yeah. So
that's
I guess
very weird. Why was he in the Navy?
He's gay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you remember.
Yeah, YMC. Yeah, I get it.
Seaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, where else are you gonna go?
Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman. I don't know what that means. But so Earl waxes nostalgia for the good old days when sons only came of age in time for their father to be eaten by something bigger. And
yeah,
Robbie's like, but what happens to the kid? Oh, they'll die soon enough. I miss the good old days.
Yeah, and Robbie's just like, he's just kind of like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. And he's like, I keep wanting to do the mating dance, but everyone keeps telling me I'm not supposed to do it.
Yeah, I've heard Louis C.K.'s recent comedy too. That's exactly what it sounds like. But yeah, so he explains to him that's because modern society. Oh, he must be talking to Spike here. That's because modern society is determined there's a proper time and place. I know. The mating dance is only appropriate in the confines of a loving monogamous relationship, preferably marriage.
Yep. Sometimes not even then.
Oh,
that's why Earl goes there.
Oh, what a joke. He went there and he goes there regularly.
Yeah. But he's just like the simpleton father that he is. He doesn't really get it either. And he admits he didn't really want to talk to Robbie.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what it all is. And because he didn't want to say it because he's like, I don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. Like, I'm knee deep in spaghetti and I lost my fork. Like, sometimes he just don't. Yeah, it's his mom's. So like, yeah, he's not good at forking, but he's like, you know what? And he's like, you know what you can do in the meantime? Because you have all these feelings your body's trying to physically express, but you're not ready emotionally. You got to get into sports, knock some balls around with the boys.
Yeah, rough it up, get dirty.
Tonsil hockey,
Yeah.
Some penis soccer. I couldn't think of anything else.
Slap some ass.
Slap some ass. Yeah, polo. Wait, that's not on donkeys. Make morning waffles.
And he's just Robbie's like, really? He's like, oh yeah, it works.
Yeah, it works for sure. And then he can get a Sports Illustrated like thing and get the tail edition,
Yeah, the dinosaurs issue.
Yeah. So
Dinosaurs Illustrated.
I don't remember what it was called in that episode, but they did have the all tail edition.
That's right. Yeah, nothing but tail.
Yeah. So he tells him it works and now it's time to go home, son. And Robbie's like, Dad, do females go through all this bullshit too? Or like, is this just our lot in life? And Earl's like, I don't know shit about women at all.
But if you ask your mom and she tells you, make sure to tell me what she says.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he wants fuck tips from his son about his son's mom. I'm just incorrigible. Yeah. Now this is the real Oedipus T-Rex.
Good old Ed.
Good old Ed.
Running through the house on fire.
What was it in the one episode? A little callback. It was Mr. Or Mr. fucking or something like that. Mr. Ugg.
Mr. Ugg, yeah.
He messed with like, stay away from the mail, Mr. Ugg. Like
that's Mr. Ugg.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. So
but that's the episode. They walk out laughing. Come on, Dad.
And they left Spike there, so
Spike. They probably tried to get Spike, but he was too far gone.
He was already in.
Yeah. He was in too deep. He was trying to keep all his feet on the ground.
His head above water. Because it was wet.
What No.
Wet ass turtle
My
pussy.
my wife is a doctor, and she says that it's actually pretty dry.
Wet ass turtle puss.
some. But yeah, speaking of wet ass turtle puss, this brings us to the conclusion of today's episode of Sinclairity.
That's
yeah,
right.
I don't know. So it's a wet dream episode. This is like you said before we recorded, this is basically like the Degrassi episode where Spinner starts getting boners in class. And he blames it on eating fruit.
Yeah, because he's doing like an experiment with Emma.
Yeah. He's like, I can't eat apples. It brings out the ferocity in my. And I was just very like, I remember watching that episode and being like, this kid's a fucking idiot.
Yep.
Apples aren't sexy.
He's a fucking.
It's all about pears.
Peaches.
Peaches and cream.
Peaches and cream. And yeah, he is an idiot. He also causes a school shooting. So yeah, he's pretty dumb.
Yeah, but if that didn't happen, we wouldn't have Drake. That's how that works.
Wish he finished the job, Ben.
Whatever. You should check out Drake and you'll thank me later.
Nah, I'm more of an Eminem guy.
They're in cahoots. They're besties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. All Drake cares about is the city he's from, money, and being upset. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm upset. That kid shot me. Now I'm in a wheelchair. I'm a wreck.
He's in that video.
He's in that. The kid is the what was his name?
Rick.
Yeah, that video was pretty funny. I gotta say, I knew you'd enjoy it.
I love that video.
The big Degrassi fucking reunion,
and how
the gang, his crew chases him down when he sees him.
Yeah, and also
that's good.
The backstory that a lot of people are wondering, like, why was JT, the character who played JT, wasn't in the music video? Because they contacted him and he thought it was a joke. Like, he didn't think it was real, and so he didn't come.
Hilarious. I imagine, like, I'm sure that guy has like a kid that likes Drake now, and like,
and Daddy, like, Drake's hilarious.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Was this like the Nick Cannon thing from Chappelle?
Yeah.
I caught it. That was you know, speaking of Nick Cannon, we consider all of you our children. We thank you each week for joining us, and I'm glad I had something to say.
Speaking of Eminem, we're obsessed with dinosaurs.
Yeah, and we stand each and every one of you. Like, we put you in a trunk, we drive off a bridge, we don't know how to send this tape out.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
We've killed you twice.
Twice, whatever. I hate these things.
Two different records.
2 records. But so yeah, that's another special episode of Sinclairity. And we're you know what episode's coming up though next week? Fucking it's the Ents, the Treebeards.
Yeah, this is like the hippie episode, the hippie dippy episode.
Yeah, you know who wrote it then? Fucking Andy Goodman. They say an Andy Goodman is hard to find, but an Andy Hardman is gooder to find.
Hardman.
Hard pass. That one's also gonna be Bruce Bilson, and it's If I Were a Tree, season 3, episode 19. It's
if I only were a tree.
It's a reference to the Beyonce song "If I Were a Boy." If I were a tree, it's like that.
I have lots of leaves.
I'd bow to you, but I don't know.
If you were the wind.
I'd like us to branch out into a new line of business, which is thanking the people who helped us with this podcast.
Yeah, like Jeremy Hunter from Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I'm sure that's hilarious that they made this amazing theme song for our podcast. Thank you, Jeremy. Check them out. Check them out on YouTube. Check them out on Spotify. Check out We Are the Union. Check out Jer. Check out the 5,000 sets that Jer will play at Fest every year for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, and
Tim, I'm not going to be at Fest this year.
Why?
This is where I don't have the ticket anymore. Olivia already got rid of it because I had said that I didn't think I was able to go.
Then why are you coming?
I'm going to Pre-Fest.
That's it?
Yeah, just Pre-Fest. I didn't mean to break it to you right in front of our audience, our listeners.
That is so sad.
I had to do it in front of them so that you wouldn't make a scene.
Well, this ain't a scene.
Yeah, this is a goddamn thank you, Amy Shenanigans, for drawing our logo, the little pictures of me and Tim. And also, while on that subject, I'd like to say thank you to Stacy Zepernick for drawing a different logo for a t-shirt that if you come to our live show on we're playing the Pre-Fest, St. Petersburg, Florida at Lucky You Tattoo, October 26th. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna watch The Stupids or something. I don't remember what we're doing.
Yeah, it was a special presentation of the classic The Stupids.
If 10 people show up, Tim will take a shot of alcohol. No. Okay, 5,000 people.
You can't even fit that many people in there.
That's true. That'd be against the fire code.
Yeah, and COVID.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, me either.
I don't think Fest has heard of COVID, or they wouldn't be doing it this year.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan show.
Speaking of the Joe Rogan show, have you heard of Keystone Copycats? It's the hottest new podcast out there.
Oh my God. Are they doing their special in-between season series on Disney princesses?
You know they are, goddammit. You fucking know they are. They're doing the little Disney Renaissance. It's not just princesses. I guess Jasmine's a princess. I guess. Pretty good
though.
I mean,
it is good, sis.
I've already heard the episode that by the time this comes out, everyone will have. But there's the episode about Aladdin. It's very good. I loved it.
Yeah. I also like that he hasn't seen any of those live action remakes.
I saw Jungle Book. I saw that, and I saw Beauty and the Beast, and I saw The Lion King. You can't pay me to watch anything with Emma Watson in it. Other than Harry Potter.
That's why you downloaded all the Harry Potter movies.
For sure. Well, I wouldn't pay anything that J.K. Rowling receives money from. Although I might go to Harry Potter World if it ever comes up as an option. I think I can't avoid that.
You're coming to Florida, Ben.
Yeah. Do you have a friend that works there? Let's go.
I did.
Oh,
I don't know if they still work there.
They go through beyond the veil to the other side.
No.
Like Sirius Black.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I said you had one, and you said it.
Okay. So listen to Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. That's Zach produces, edits, does all that shit for our podcast. He also just gave me a bed. This is like the third bed he's given me, or something like that. He's my bed daddy.
He's got a lot of beds.
He does a lot of fucking. He's got kids. He's got another on the way.
That's because he breaks so many.
He breaks them in, they break to the ground, breaks them down, runs around. But
that makes sense though, Ben. He gave you 3 beds and he has 3 kids. It makes sense.
Oh, these beds are tainted.
Do the math.
I'm doing the Alfredo, but I'm gonna leave this on one little quick story for you.
Okay.
Speaking of wait, no, actually, I'm gonna edit out that part because I realize this story might not be appropriate.
I'm doing the hoochie coochie. I was gonna let you do your story.
Yeah, Hoochie Coochie and the Blowfish. That's my favorite band.
Oh, so good.
But I will say, well, what we'll do, I'll tell you a story right after we say bye to these people, and maybe you can hear it a little bit in the background.
Oh my God.
So yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. And you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, everything at A Dinosaurs Tale. And tail spelled the way that you think it is. Probably. I don't know. Tale.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You can also you can send us an email at Sinclairity podcast@gmail.com. You can send me an email. It's hootie@blowfish.com. I'm Darius Rucker. I'm revealing it now. This whole time.
I knew it. I knew you couldn't be the guy who covered Wagon Wheel.
I just drank a 5th of vodka. Darius the Drive Trucker? Never mind. All right, goodbye forever, everybody. We love you. Enjoy going extinct.
Goodbye forever, Matt Skiba.
Good riddance.